Yes, yes. Welcome to the ancient world of tabletop games. I am Agamemnon from the historical documentary Time Bandits. This is a report from a fugitive. This is a gameplay video showing what happens when two authors sit down in different countries to play a board game online. At the time of recording in the plague-stricken year of 2020, Pandemic Hot Zone, North America, is the very latest entry in the Pandemic series. And that really is a board gaming fact. In this cooperative game, players battle diseases using characters with individual specialist powers to thwart the relentless march of evil cubes spread by the game. That element is driven by two decks of cards. We gather color-coordinated sets of cards and cache them in at a research station to cure a disease. I'm not here to explain the game rules to you. This is strictly about gameplay and the banter that goes with it. I recorded what we played on Zoom and found, to my horror, that the converted file didn't fill your typical YouTube screen. The best I could do was enlarge the video to fill that screen, reducing picture quality. Live and learn. This video is the result of several sessions played backstage. For her thoughts on an earlier game leading up to this one, here's Canadian author Karen Woodward to open proceedings.
Hi, I just played Reign of Cthulhu with RLL. He asked me for my thoughts on the game, so here they are. First, let me say that I love his gaming setup. We live in different countries, and so even without social distancing, I wouldn't have been able to drop by for a game. RLL patiently explained the rules, and we dove in. I played the Huntress. RLL sacrificed a relic on my first turn so I could get to the Shoggoth, I'm not used to saying that, Shoggoth, and in so doing put his sanity on the line. That was only the beginning. We were in a race against the game. We got lucky a few times, and thanks to RLL knowing what he was doing, we got through it. I was astonished we won. RLL was insane toward the end, but then he sealed a gate and was transported to the hospital, which was a stroke of luck actually, because it was close to the portal we needed to seal, which was where I was. And I had some of the cards we needed to seal the portal. It was like everything in the game came together at the end. It would be nice to say we planned for that to happen, and maybe RLL did, but on my part, it was a fortunate accident. I was insane by the end, and we only had something like 3 turns left before the game would have won. As I said, the game was fun. I think part of the reason for this was that, first, the game is difficult. There are many ways to fail and only one to succeed. Second, because the game is so difficult, it's lovely when you're lucky, when things go your way. The difficulty makes winning mean something. Okay, that's it. Thanks again for the game.
Right, here we are with Pandemic Hot Zone. I'm joined by author Karen Woodward, represented by that maple leaf over there. And welcome
Hi.
not to your first game of Pandemic.
No, I've lost before, many times before.
You've played before, Karen, damn it. We're not here to tell the viewers that we've lost this game. We play this game immaculately every single time.
Yeah.
And then lose occasionally.
Yes, occasionally. We've won more than we've lost, so.
We have, rather frustratingly. I don't think we've played the actual Pandemic itself and won it.
That's true. We did play it, but we lost. We lost miserably.
I mean, we kicked Cthulhu's backside in the other version of the game.
We did. Actually, that's my favorite so far.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
You haven't played Pandemic Iberia yet. A lot of people really, really like that one. Even though you can't cure the disease.
You can't.
You can only research it because it's historical. So there are actual historical diseases which don't have cures for them. You only research, how do these spread, and let's make things better for people. But in this game, Pandemic, we're here to cure these diseases.
Yes.
Except in this one, it's the bite-sized chunk. It's the sort of, I wouldn't say, it's not a Cravo version.
Many diseases.
It's a smaller version. I think a lot of people ask after you've played Pandemic, and the game manufacturers have flogged it to death. Could you get another version of the game out? Yes, a smaller one. And I suspect this is the first in a series. Hot Zone will be a series. North America, they'll do Europe, they'll do Antarctica if they could get away with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would be rather uneventful. A
Yeah,
lot of fighting in research stations.
you'd be fighting off global warming.
Yeah. I was going to say fighting off penguins, but there aren't really penguins.
I'm trying to remember where polar bears are and aren't, and I suspect they're at the North Pole, but not at the South.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be corrected by the internet if we're wrong.
Animals at the south,
Well, if you hear a knock at the door and a giant polar bear emerges out of the street into your home and says, look, get this right geographically. Well, that would be something, wouldn't it?
would.
You'd be like, oh, look, a talking polar bear. Okay, let's talk about this game. It's like Pandemic, but focuses on a smaller map.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
So here is our map, and there we are. I'm the dispatcher, and you're going to be the medic.
Yes. Yes, I'm going to kill a lot of diseases.
You say that as though you took it personally.
I do.
Right, the board is already set up for a game. So we have, as our starting diseases, we've got some nasty stuff here. 3 is always a danger. That could spill over into an outbreak. The game is set for up to 4 outbreaks instead of 8 in the normal game.
Okay.
Over there, we've got the usual infection rate, but much smaller, truncated.
Okay.
We are only out to cure 3 diseases instead of the usual 4. There's no eradicating the diseases as with the main game, and we're only after 4 cards each instead of 5.
Well, that'll be nice.
If we go over to our cards, there we are. You're starting off with an event, One Quiet Night.
What was that again?
We skip the infection phase on that turn.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
And it's just a quiet night and nothing happens.
A night in front of the fireplace.
Well, before you go out next day into the wasteland, the apocalypse, it's disease-ridden again.
Yeah.
This is our system for remembering just who the hell's turn it is. We are using the king in yellow.
Of course.
So we will move it for my turn, your turn, back to my turn. And we're using coins for the actions that we're spending in the game. It's been our experience that we just stop and talk nonsense about movies for 5 minutes and then go back to the game, and the king in yellow keeps us right every single time.
That's right.
As with the usual game of Pandemic, we lose if the outbreak marker goes to the bottom of the track. That there. Over there, we've got some cards, and those are the player cards. And if we get to the bottom of the deck, we've run out of time and we've lost the game.
Okay.
And here are the disease cubes. If you go to reach for disease cubes and they're not there, disease has run rampant across the world and we've lost the game. In the advanced version of Pandemic, you lose if you sneeze or if you drop a playing piece on the floor, and there's lots of many other bogus rules that we could make up. But basically, it's a cooperative game. We team up to fight the game itself. There are many ways to lose and only one to win. Cure, no.
We cure all 3 diseases.
I was going to say, let's cure all 4 diseases, but that's another game, a bigger game.
It's 3, though. In this one, it's 3.
It's
right?
3 in that one, yes.
Okay.
So there's the bigger game in the bigger box with more diseases, 4 normally.
Yeah.
The other thing that's different is that we have a hand limit of cards, and it's 6 instead of the usual 7 in the game. I think that pretty much covers any of the differences between the huge version and this pocket-sized one. You need a really big pocket to fit that box into your coat. Yeah. So why would you get this game?
Well, I don't know. Those lab coats have really big pockets, so you can kind of
Yes. Okay. I'll go with that. I'm thinking of using this game in a different way. People ask, why would you get this if you just play normal Pandemic? And it's quicker. It might be easier to introduce people to this game.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah.
And I'm talking about people who are not really board gamers.
Right, yeah. When the first time we played was Cthulhu, I thought that was really fun. Like it would have probably gone a bit smoother if I'd actually known what I was doing, but it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, I mean, I see the point here that if it's a little bit smaller, if it's a little bit shorter of a game, like it may be a little bit smoother getting up to speed. But I don't know. The other games are pretty fun, even if you lose horribly.
Even if you lose by a whisker, as we sometimes did.
Yeah, generally it was when we won by a whisker. When we lost, we just went in whole hog. It was brutal. It was a massacre. There was blood all over.
Don't need to rub it in.
Well, hey, I was right there.
Yes. I wonder who we are in this one. I've got no clue who I am. I'm a dispatcher. Now, I think the last time I was a dispatcher, I was a rather grumpy character in a pork pie hat with a terrible taste in shirts. I was Gene Hackman.
Yes, you were. You were Gene Hackman.
And I was sort of standing over there at the end of the game. You accused me of colluding with the disease. As if
Well,
I'd become some kind of master criminal, and I was there standing on this map of the world going, Otisburg!
you did.
Otisburg!
You were kind of chummy. I mean, that was just my impression. What can I say?
Well, I don't know. Was I professional at all, or were you professional? Because you were, as let's just be blunt about it, you were Audrey Hepburn.
That's true. Well, I mean, I could dream. I love that little black dress.
Yes, obviously, globetrotting is all about the little black dress and cocktails at 8.
Oh, yes,
And
definitely.
occasionally signing off on some disease thing that people keep troubling you with.
Yes, definitely. So you're going first, right?
Yes, the cards dictate that I've got a city with the highest population level, so that's me.
Okay, so when I go, I think I'm gonna, because I can take out that cluster in just one action. So I think that's what I'm gonna focus on, like getting rid of the clusters.
You're the medic, and you have that ability. And when we first played the game, you asked me, what do I do? And I said to you, play to your strengths. So if you're playing a character, and all these characters have individual player powers, these roles that we're playing, they all have a thing that they can do. We can all do everything in the game, all the basic actions, driving, taking a ferry, flying in and out of places, treating disease, sharing knowledge, discovering the cure. Everyone can do that. But we all have a thing that we can do. I'm the dispatcher, so I'll be arranging transportation. I can always move you around to get to me very quickly so we can share files and cure diseases, for example. You are the medic and you just go in and shoot the disease dead. I know that you've compared this to the Huntress character in Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. She just burst the doors in and shot a lot of cultists whenever she moved.
That was fun.
Yes, you were very bloodthirsty, I remember. So now you're doing the same thing, Dirty Harry, going in and just shooting, do you feel lucky, punk?
Yes, that's right.
Shooting diseases. Okay, so that's what you're hoping to do. Again, this is Pandemic, and we sit and discuss our plans. On your turn, it's up to you to enact those plans. You might change your mind and do something entirely different. But you've outlined your strategy. You want to take care of those. Now, I don't know what to do. We don't really have enough cards yet to cure any diseases, so we should just move around the map, mopping them up. So I suppose when you're talking about clusters, you're going to take these out.
Yeah.
So I'll probably head up north and start to take those out. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
Right. I have to redeem some coins. There we go. The coins are set up for my actions.
Okay.
I'm going to stand over this complicated camera rig without knocking it over. And let's start moving around. Okay, I think I'll be coming up this way. I don't see any point in spending cards to get to places.
Not yet.
So I'll take a little trip out to Washington. Bearing in mind, in the normal game, you can build these research stations, but there is only one in this, and we have to keep coming back to Atlanta. Okay, so I go to Washington, do a bit of politics there, not much. Make of that what you will. And then I go up to Chicago. So that's 2 actions. I'm just going to throw away some coins there.
Okay.
And then I do the basic curing a disease, which you go in with like a machine gun or something and shoot them all.
Yeah.
But I just take 1 off for that. And then it's a question of moving on, and that's going to be my turn. It's a feature of the game that sometimes you're just moving around and doing a little bit, and sometimes you have very dramatic turns. This isn't one of them. Okay, so that's that. I move the king in yellow down to you.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, you're all set up for next time.
That's it. So my 4 actions are done, and I'm going to draw 2 player cards now. Let's see if anything bad happens here. In this game, there are 3 epidemic cards. I think the main game with all the expansions can go up to 7 of them. Just lifting these cards out because I'm wearing gloves, so I'm using this handy thing.
Yes, it's very, very villainous looking.
I think her name is Ambi Valdez. She works occasionally for the Dice Tower, and she's really interested in train games. And this is the kind of gadget that you will use for those train games. They're called 18XX games because usually they're set in 18 whatever year it is.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I got the idea for this prop to
Oh, nice.
grab shiny little cards when I'm wearing gloves. Okay, well, it's Santo Domingo. I get a yellow card. That's fantastic.
Okay, cool. So what cards of what color do you have?
That's a good question. I have mistakenly picked up 3 instead of 2. I don't know why I did that. Draw 2 player cards, it clearly says, and we've been playing this game for ages. Anyway, I got Santo Domingo, yellow.
Okay.
That's my first yellow card. I'm going to have 2 between us. I've just let that third card lie back where it is because it's not going to make any difference. But the second card was a fantastic epidemic straight away.
Oh, great. I remember the one game, like you drew all the epidemic cards and I got all the events.
Yes, what was that about? I think the game was playing favorites there.
Yes.
Because it's like...
You've done something to make it grumpy.
Was that Audrey Hepburn?
Well, I guess it was partial to cocktails, so it likes me more.
Well, there's Audrey Hepburn. Give her all the good stuff. What about that other grumpy guy there? Oh, he can have the epidemics. Okay.
Well,
yes.
Were you Jimmy Stewart that time?
Oh boy, gee whiz. No, I wasn't Jimmy Stewart. That was in Pandemic Rising Tide. Because you were Grace Kelly.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And I was in a fisherman's outfit, and I had to sail around stopping floods. Yeah. Oh boy. And you had to turn up and look good in a cocktail dress. That's a theme with you. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, well,
We haven't even decided who we are. I don't know who we are. We advance the infection rate. Ah, gee willikers, look at that there. It's more infectious. It's still 2. That's dreadful. We're going to infect We're going to take the bottom card there. That's this little card, the green card. No, it's not, is it? Yeah, it is that little green card, yeah. I didn't recognize it because it's got a different design on it compared to next to the main game there. This is a whole new game, even though it's smaller. So we do this magician's trick of taking the bottom card from the deck. Now, some people might say, are you sure you play it that way? And the answer is, well, it's in the rule book, so I guess so.
There we go.
But it is the designer's stroke of genius.
So what did we get?
Oh, New York.
Okay.
Oh, what a sock. Oh, geez. Okay, New York is blue, and we're going to add 3 cubes there. Ah, New York.
3. Oh, okay.
3, that's what happens, sir. Okay, that's it. Okay. Now we're going to intensify. We're going to take the cards that we've already put out, and that's all of these places that were already in the game to start with, plus New York here, and I'm going to quickly shuffle these. And in the time-honored fashion, I guess someone on the other side of the Atlantic there and on the other side of Canada is going to eventually tell me to stop that.
Oh, yeah, stop. Sorry.
Okay, there we go. I remember playing one of these games. I was shuffling for 5 minutes, and you were, I don't know where you...
should do it in front of the camera or something.
I should have done, yeah. Okay, that's it. This is our first play of this. Obviously, I messed up the whole thing there by drawing 3 cards instead of 2. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, well. Who cares?
I'm distracted. I care, damn it.
That's true.
You got this.
Very earnest.
You got this laissez-faire attitude there to the lives and deaths of millions. Why you
very,
could be
very laid back, very Canadian, you know.
You could be a political leader.
Very Canadian, eh?
Yeah. What's that about?
Although I don't think I say that.
You don't say a boot.
A boot, no.
Well, I say a boot.
Is that a boot, eh?
It's a Scottish thing, a boot.
Is it?
It is. You go a boot tune about town. Yes, I've killed off Jimmy Stewart. I'm sure he'll be back later.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Now we come to the infection rate. This phase here of, we'll shuffle them all. They're all in here somewhere. Someone's getting it. It could be a nasty place or a nasty place. Or a third nasty place. We've added New York. We're okay as long as it's not Miami, the unpronounceable place. That place.
Yeah.
TEGUCIGALPA.
We're just going to call it TEG. TEG. We're good with TEG.
I'm sure people from that place would be highly offended by one of our pronunciations, most likely.
I think they would take mercy on us.
Well.
Because they're very nice people.
Only if we rush in and cure them.
That's okay. We'll make that a priority.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm heading down there.
Yes,
right?
it's going to be too late if we turn this, and that's it. The infection rate is currently 2. So we're going to turn a card. It's San Francisco takes a bullet for the team. Thank you, San Francisco. Bless your heart. And then, oh no, it is indeed the place that you are going to save.
Oh no, really?
They're not going to be merciful now, saying, oh, we would have forgiven you the pronunciation of that name, but no, we're all going to be wiped out. And we blame you for not turning up in time. Where was your Learjet, Karen?
Yeah, well, okay, so there are only 2 nodes going out from it, so it could be worse.
Right, so we can do those in any order, can't we? Well, no, we don't. We do San Francisco first, I should say. San Francisco gains a cube and goes to 3, which is quite critical. And TEGUCIGALPA. Galpa. Let's call it Galpa.
Galpa? Okay.
That takes a hit, which means 1 goes on there and 1 goes on there, Havana.
All right.
And that's all she wrote.
Okay, my turn?
Oh, so we come round to your turn, yes.
Okay.
Just to confirm that.
All right.
The king in yellow says yes.
Okay, right.
So we're going to come back there.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to go to Miami.
For a holiday. It's spring break. Go down the beach. Have a laugh.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe
Really
not.
So because I'm the medic in 1 action, I'm just going to clear all 3 of those.
You do indeed. That's another action, and those go back in the pot. Remember, if we run out of these, and there are far fewer of these than in the normal game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm going to go up to Havana. So that's going to be my 3rd action. And then I'm going to go down to...
That place.
Yes, that place.
I'm going to be looking up the pronunciation of it.
I'm calling it Tag. I don't. You can like. We'll each have our pet name for it.
You call it Tag. I'll call it Galpa. Somewhere in between the 2 of us, we've mostly got the name of the place, even though.
That's right. Between us, we'll just completely confuse everyone who's listening to this on audio.
Yes. Just to go back here, I'm afraid to say I missed something. That was an outbreak.
Oh, right. Yes.
I'm quite shocked at that so early in the game. Particularly as we've got half the normal. That goes way down to there in the big game, but this is a small game. There's no margin for error here.
Yeah.
We really need to get moving. So that's it. You stopped off in Cuba for all the good it did anyone. Still got that disease lurking there. But the hot spots we have to get to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I get my 2 cards?
You do indeed get your 2 cards. And not 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever I feel like pulling.
Okay, 3 would be okay. As long as I don't get an outbreak card.
Okay, you've got Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, okay. So that's red. How many red do I have now?
2, and I have 1. You've also got an event. And I'm not saying the game's being kind to you. In giving me the epidemic and you the event. We've been down that road before.
Yeah, well.
Okay, it's an airlift. Move 1 pawn to any city.
Okay, and I can play that at any time.
At any time, even on my turn.
Okay.
I've got the ability to move you to me, or possibly me to you. Move any pawn directly to... Yeah, so I could move myself to you, or you to me, or you could use that card to move to somewhere in the middle ground. It becomes awkward.
Well, I've been thinking that what I might do on my next turn is I would obviously clear the 3 off the node I'm on, off of Tag, and then I would play my card and I would go up to New York and take care of those 3.
You're really jet-setting around, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Me in my black dress.
Who are you this time? Audrey Hepburn or I was going to say Jean Kelly there, but that's wrong, clearly.
Maybe Catherine Hepburn.
Grace Kelly, not Jean Kelly.
Yeah, there's a bit of a difference there.
Yeah. I'm not saying he'd look worse in a dress, but, you know.
Yeah, I think he could pull off, one of those cute black dresses.
You're veering into the realm of fan fiction now.
Sorry.
It's like, okay. Yes, I definitely ship Jean Kelly and that Gucci dress. Those two were made for each other. Just look at the tension in there. You could cut the tension with a knife when they're in the room together. Gene Kelly in a dress. Anyway.
Okay, so now we do the outbreak cards.
Yes, we've done 2 player cards for you, and we draw infection cards, unless you wish to skip it because it's one quiet night. Because that is...
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's skip it. Let's skip it.
You want to skip it now?
Yep.
Okay. We're just prolonging the inevitable. One quiet night, and that's that. It goes into the discard there.
Okay.
Well, in that case, that's us. We're done drawing infection cards. 1, 2, 3. You've got 4. I've got 4 cards as well. We can only go to 6.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll get a red, and then maybe, like, so if I meet you on a node, does it have to be one of the cards we're exchanging in order to exchange them?
It'll have to be the city that we're in. You've latched onto this word node, but they are all cities, yes.
Right, I'm sorry, city.
You love to use
I have
that.
latched onto the word node. It's more of a computer programming term, so.
Is that where you're getting it from? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, designed originally to keep nuclear war going. If one node is knocked out, you can bypass and go to another node. So if you've lost a city to an atomic bomb.
Yeah, well, there, that's an idea for a future version of pandemic, you know?
Well, because diseases just aren't violent enough for you, are they, Karen?
Well, hey, you're the one who keeps getting the outbreak cards.
That is a slur upon my name. I've only had 1. There are only 3 in the game. Let's see if I get the other 2.
Well, I don't know. That sounds like you're tempting fate right there.
Yes, I am. Okay, so the king in yellow is going to move back up. I will redeem my coins. Because we veered off into Gene Kelly there and Gucci dresses, and I didn't know where we were. But the king in yellow tells me that it's my turn. Okay, you're going to handle that outbreak, head up the coast and deal with that.
Yep.
So it's my job to, I don't know, do I want to take that disease straight out?
What, the one on the 3 in the city that you're in?
That's 2, only 2 there. So 2 there, but 3 is the main one.
I would say take at least 1 off.
Take 1 away from there. Okay, I will. I'll take 1 away from there and then just drive out to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay, that is spending a penny for the disease, spending 2 more pennies to move, and I must take 1 off there because that is vital.
Yes.
We don't want that getting hit as well.
No.
Because I mean, who's going to supply all the coffees to Starbucks if we don't save them in San Francisco? It's just...
Oh, I could really do with a coffee. I'm out right now.
You don't have any coffee?
Well, I do. I just have to grind it.
I almost fainted from shock there.
Yeah, coffee. It's the food of, well, the drink of the gods.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I shall have some later. We'll take a break and you can have whatever wood chips you've found there and grind them into something resembling a drink.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, coffee made from wood chips. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go out into the backyard and I'll grate the pine tree, and make my pine drink.
I think for medicinal reasons, I can't recommend that in case of.
Yes. Just teasing. Canadians are weird, but we're not that weird.
Please don't make coffee out of pine unless you've researched it thoroughly, and even then, I wouldn't recommend it. It'll taste like pine and not like coffee.
That's right. That's true. So.
Yes, the king in yellow and the coins tell me that after that coffee detour, that is the end of my turn. I arrive and I stare out at the bay. I stare out at the Golden Gate Bridge.
Sipping your cappuccino?
I wander around in search of one.
Okay.
I turn a corner, and as is usual in San Francisco, you turn a corner and suddenly you're on a huge hill, and you think, damn.
Yeah, it's hilly city. But you have to get some sourdough while you're there.
Sourdough.
Yeah.
And maybe
go into a tiki bar.
This is more Gene Kelly fan fiction, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
So suddenly a song breaks out in the tiki bar, all about sourdough.
Yeah, they're called mothers, and they have like mothers that are like, at least one shop has a mother that's over 100 years old.
You're referring to the dough itself, presumably.
The starter.
Right, so a little piece of the batch carries on into the next batch.
Yeah, pretty much. Each town has its own distinctive flavor because they capture the bacteria that just sort of is unique. Every city has sort of a unique blend kind. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you taste like sourdough, like really good sourdough in San Francisco, and you taste really good sourdough from, let's say, Paris, they're going to taste different. Or at least that's what people tell me that can afford to, do those kind of things.
Right. And for those of you who have tuned into this cookery program, we're about to have an accidental outbreak of a game called Pandemic.
Yes. Sorry.
It's okay. That's what the King in Yellow is there for. I've picked up Calgary, close to your own stamping ground.
Oh dear, what's happening to Calgary?
No, it's cards. I'm gaining cards. It's
Oh,
good.
okay, all right.
That,
so you
yes,
got two.
And Phoenix. Let's go along to the other side of the board.
Oh, so you can cure that disease now, can you?
Let's see. San Francisco, Calgary, Phoenix. I need one more. I need maybe Los Angeles or Dallas that you have. I'm in San Francisco. I can go to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I could summon you to me with my dispatcher ability. So I would say our plan is you do your thing here.
Right.
And then I bring you over to this side of the board. And I grab that.
No.
Well, actually, no, Dallas is nearer. I could get down to Dallas. You've got a Dallas card, and that's a short step to Atlanta to get in and cure. How about that?
Dallas.
You're consulting my scan of the map.
Yeah. So I'm going to be on New York, right?
Let's see. You're there now. You're going to work your way up to New York. So you're going to like bang, hit that.
Yeah.
Then you're going to fly off with your airlift. It doesn't cost you an action, so you'll get there. So a second action, bang again.
And then you can take me over?
No, not on your turn.
Okay, so you would have to use up an action to do that?
I'd be using up my actions. You would still have 2 actions left. You might get back to Atlanta or do something else. I mean, you don't actually have that card that lets you fly out, the airlift.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your thing. You could do your thing there, move and take a disease, or move and take a disease.
Well, does that count as an action, the card?
Let me get that for you. Event cards don't count as actions.
Oh, okay.
Play at any time, not an action. Move 1 pawn to any city.
Okay, right. All right.
So you're going.
So I'd have 2 actions then after my turn.
Well, let's see. You would destroy that for an action. And up there, you're going to destroy that for an action.
Uh-huh.
So you could get to a place and destroy a disease cube just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I guess is what we're looking at. That's thinking ahead, though.
Yes.
Because between us we now have 5 red cards, 2 yellow, 2 blue.
I think I might concentrate on destroying the red ones because I've got to get over there if you need my red, if I'm to give you a red card.
Let's see, you're going to Los Angeles or Dallas, which are the cards involved.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so now we have to draw the outbreak cards, right?
I've just picked up 2 player cards, so we do the infection thing now. Yes, and it's 2 cards. Let's see where we're going to infect. I think it might be a little while before we get another epidemic because that one came out so soon.
Oh, please don't say that. That is such a jinx.
Okay, it's Miami.
Okay, Miami. All right.
We can deal with that. Yellow again, yellowish amber. Miami. Okay. Bearing in mind, we've got very few outbreaks. We want to keep a lid on those. New York has come out again. Just as I say, we need to keep a lid on the outbreaks.
Oh no, you drew New York?
That's an outbreak.
Oh, damn.
So, here we go. I've thrown that under the table. Not under this table, but I've got a side table there.
Oh wow, and it's linked to 4 other cities.
Yes, it is. That's kind of bad. It gets up into Canada. Right. I'm now on a rescue mission to rescue that blue cube that flew away. There we go. Right then.
Okay, so it's your
I'm
turn
just
now.
staring at the desperation of that scene. That was just dreadful.
Yeah.
Okay, we have finished that. Hand sizes are fine at the moment. The king in yellow moves back down to you. We shall redeem 4 coins. And now you're going to have an action-packed turn.
Okay. So I'll take the 3 off of the city I'm in, Tag. That's one action.
They are grateful.
Yes.
They thank you.
Okay, thanks.
They allow you to pronounce the place that way.
They give me a cappuccino and send me on my way. So I'm going to cash in that event and fly up to New York.
It's an airlift. Away you go.
Yeah.
So you're going to fly up to New York.
Okay, then I take off those 3.
And that'll be another action for you.
Yeah, so I've used up 2 actions now.
Okay, those 3 come off. There we go. It's stuck to my glove, that one. It's a very sticky disease. You have
Okay,
to
so
wash your gloves thoroughly.
I think I'm just gonna like take that one off. Or no, did I move?
My mistake. You were in New York.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, so that's 2. So then I go up for 3.
So you do want to go up. Toronto, Montreal, or Boston? I'm not.
I'll go up to Boston.
Boston. No favoritism there.
Oh.
Canadians can wait, I guess.
Well, I'm heading over to the red part, so I just thought, yeah. So okay, so that's my 4.
Yes, it is. That's it. You've spent those coins. I say that as if you're actually spending money to cure disease. Well, of course you are. You have to spend money to cure disease. There's the state of play there. I'm about to redeem my coins, and that'll go back up.
Okay.
I have to say that system is invaluable for playing this game when we start talking about Gene Kelly and how to make coffee out of pine trees and things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. We also have, that's the state of the cubes.
So we're not that bad when it comes to the disease tokens.
Right. Just get the board back. Now, normally in the larger board, it would be, could you show me over the top left or the top right? But the whole board fits very, very easily into this.
Yeah. It's convenient.
Okay. So that's...
Okay, so can I see my cards just for a sec now that you've got the camera all nicely positioned over the board? Sorry. Okay, so I get 2 cards, right?
You have completed your actions, so you're going to get 2 player cards, yes.
Okay, so yellow. Come on, yellow. No,
Seattle, also within a stone's throw of me.
Actually, I might use that next turn.
New York.
Yeah, well. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, so now between us, we have, what, 3 blue?
1, 2, 3. I count 3 blue, 2 yellow. More than enough red.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. You have your cards. Nothing bad happened. Let's infect some cities.
Okay.
I've got Chicago.
Chicago. Can I see the board again?
Certainly.
Thank you.
I thought I had 2 cards stuck together there, but I don't. It's just the card stock. Now, there are people who play these games who can tell you the exact thickness of the card stock, and they go, oh, this is luxurious game component here. Oh, it's wonderful. I don't know anything about that at all. I just go, it's a card to me, pretty much. I can differentiate a plasticky finish from a linen one, but that's about as far as it goes. Anyway, Minneapolis.
Have you ever had that experience? Instead of cards, it's money, and like you kind of like rub 2 $20 bills together, and then they come apart, and it's like, oh, and you have an extra $20. It's the best feeling.
No, I can't say that's happened to me. It
has happened to me.
I did pick up a book off a pile of books, and sandwiched between 2 books there was a tenner.
Oh, nice!
And I felt like a king.
There we go.
I guess it's that kind of feeling.
I guess, yeah, sure, close enough. Can I take a peek at the board?
Oh yes, you wanted to go to the board. We were just talking about randomly discovering money, which is always a good thing. Oh, there we are.
So outbreak. So Chicago, it went on Chicago, right?
It went on Chicago, and one went back on Minneapolis, I should say. It had 2 on it. I curated 1, and it's gone back to 2 again.
All right.
So yeah, there's nowhere on the board with 3.
Okay, that's good.
Right, so that's that. The King in Yellow speaks, and I shall redeem some coins.
Okay.
Say redeem them, it's probably bank robbery.
So, do you have 4 red, or you need 1 from me?
I have 3 red. I need 1 from you.
Okay.
I could go to Los Angeles and summon you to me there.
Right now you're in San Francisco. Yeah, you could do that, or I could just use my Seattle card.
Seattle, yes, I could go to Seattle and summon you there, but that takes me further away from Atlanta.
Yeah, no, I like your plan better. Your plan was better.
I think Los Angeles. The other option is Dallas. So, but I can't go straight down through Phoenix.
I would
have
say
1,
LA.
2, 3, 4 to
Because
summon
LA
you.
is closer.
Yes, we can exchange these vital notes, and that's what these cards represent, even though they're just sets of colours. They're field notes, they're studies, they're clues, pictures of, grainy pictures of Bigfoot.
Yes.
We have to rule these things out.
Random recipes for, pine coffee.
That's actually a key ingredient in solving this disease. We realize that. Nature always provides a cure to something.
There we go.
Okay. So I just phone you up and say, I'm going to fly you in now.
Okay, so I wriggle into my black dress, grab a cocktail.
I'm just trying not to laugh. Okay. And then you get into that handy Learjet that I've arranged for you.
There we go. Why not travel in style?
That's it. You've got enough time to eat a fantastic 3-course meal.
Oh no, then I can't fit into it's a choice. 3-course meal or little black dress.
How large is a 3-course meal that you no longer fit into the dress after eating the meal? Like
Well,
10 seconds?
Like broccoli appetizer and a little bit of nibbles, a little bit of lettuce for the main course. And
I think scientifically, lettuce isn't a foodstuff. I think that's been proven scientifically. I'm going out on a limb and saying that.
It's funny. 1 year I had a garden, and we had a bit of a rat infestation story behind that, but I won't go there. So we had this rat infestation, and I was growing, I grew kale. I grew a lot of stuff, but I grew kale, and I grew like iceberg lettuce. They left the iceberg lettuce alone and ate the kale. Did not have to worry about the lettuce. So yeah, I think you might be right about lettuce not being food group.
I think I'd be more worried about the rats personally, but okay.
The rats are like, yeah, that's not real food.
Right, I'm just going to grab this. Move any pawn directly to any other pawn's city. So I could actually teleport to you, technically. I can move another player's pawn to a connected city as well.
Sure, so you could just move me to Los Angeles. Is that how you interpret it? I mean, that's what it seems like to me.
Let me check that again.
Okay.
Move any pawn directly to any other pawn's city. It's the city I'm in.
Sure. Well, I could just, go to your city and...
But...
Well, why don't you go to Los Angeles and then summon me over? And because then we'll be able to do the exchange.
Yes, that's actually the better move. I go to Los Angeles. I go, right, she's flying into LAX.
Yes, exactly.
I'm waiting for her. We've got bets on. There's a pool going. Is she going to turn up in a little blue dress, a little black dress? She's going to turn up in a jumpsuit.
What kind of cocktail will she have?
I don't know. It's probably disgustingly expensive.
Absolutely. Yes, of course. Well, I mean, you have to do something in lieu of eating, so.
Right. So 90% of this healthcare budget doesn't actually go to curing disease. It just funds your maniacal pursuit of dresses and the champagne Learjet lifestyle.
I mean, like, you never know what's going to prolong health, right? It's an experiment.
Right. So 3-course meals and crystal champagne. Oh my God.
People are going to have entirely the wrong idea of me.
We're going in there. And we're
the
gonna
only thing I ever, the most exotic thing I drink on a regular basis is kombucha that I brew myself.
Sniffer dogs are going aboard this jet. It's just too suspicious. Where's all the money going? You can't possibly spend all that money on black dresses. And then, of course, we go on board, and yes, you can spend all that money on black dresses.
Well, yeah, it depends who makes them.
Right, so I've arrived in Los Angeles ahead of your flight to Los Angeles, where we
Okay,
meet
so
up.
Yeah. Does that cost you an action now, or?
It's an action for me to move, and then action. Yes, it is an action for me to do
Okay.
that. So
Okay, so we take whatever cards you need.
I need your pine nut coffee recipe.
Okay.
So I will be taking the Los Angeles card,
All right.
and I now have a collection of 4.
Okay, so are you gonna turn them in?
So yes, I will turn them in like the criminals they
no,
are.
you have to be in Atlanta, don't you?
I do have to be in Atlanta, that's true. I don't have an Atlanta card to fly in, unfortunately. I'm just going to have to...
Do I have one? Do I have one that's close by there?
You've got New York, but that's still 2 stops away. I'd be as well just hoofing it, really.
Yeah. Los Angeles, 1, 2. Yeah, that's true. Because you'll be able to get there in one turn.
Okay, so I just drive away. I don't have a checking account or anything like that, or access to a jet. I can get other people on jets, but I can't seem to take one myself. At this stage, I was a little slack in keeping control of coins to mark the passage of actions. One action to move my pawn, another to summon Karen's pawn, and a third action to exchange information. This wasn't marked, so I believed I had 2 actions left. The mistake follows in driving across 2 cities instead of 1. I noticed this almost a week after the game. It's too late to fix now. This is how we learn to play games, by making mistakes. The game finishes with 1 action left unused, so we'll say that it evens out in the end. This isn't true. All games even out under a full moon in the month of January after throwing away gallons of unused pine coffee. And that is a board gaming fact.
You spent all your money on the Learjet, so...
That's it. I'm within sight of Atlanta. I'm so close to curing that disease. I think I've just gone up to 7 cards, actually, when you've handed me those. And I would have normally said, that's fine, but that's the main game and not this shorter game.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to keep the 4 disease cards. We've got 3 blue. Yeah, keep the blue. We've only got 2 yellow between us, so if I lose one, we're back to square one. It's the least anyway. I don't know if that's a good strategy or not, but I will have to ditch that. And I'm about to
All right.
ditch another 2 cards, unless I get an event card. That would be really eventful, wouldn't it? That'd be great if I got an event.
Yeah, 2 events. You could.
I think it's highly unlikely, given...
Highly unlikely, but hey.
There are 4 in that deck. You've had 2 of them.
Yeah, so it's possible.
Yes, it is. Let's do it. Here we go. I'm going to draw a card.
Okay, event cards. Come on. Woohoo.
You're so excited.
I am.
It's a yellow.
Oh,
Tegucigalpa, that place.
that place.
Tapioca. Tegucigalpa. Tegucigalpa. It could be Tegucigalpa. I don't know. I've got no clue. I will endeavour to research this after the game is over. Then we find out it's pronounced Chawaki or something like that. That doesn't tie into the letters we're looking at because it's an entirely different language. Oh,
let's see here. TEG.
I have turned 2 yellow cards.
TEGUC.
Thinking it over, we don't want to throw away too many yellow cards.
No, we don't.
I might have to throw away 1 yellow and 1 blue.
Really? Yeah, okay, sure.
I'm on 6. 6 is the limit, not 7 in this game. So I'm trying to minimize the losses. We'll just chuck Indianapolis. We'll keep Tegucigalpa because it amuses me to keep pronouncing it or mispronouncing it. Goodbye, Havana.
Yeah, oh well.
I'm going to go on from there and draw some infection cards. We're going to infect Seattle.
Oh no, not Seattle.
Another kind of Starbucks sort of town. I'm just saying, that's what's spreading it. People meeting up in Starbucks and sneezing over each other.
On my block, a couple blocks away, it just reopened.
Atlanta, where the disease center is, so they'll know exactly what that's all about. It's probably escaped from the lab.
No, I tried to look up what it's pronounced, but people aren't saying.
As no one attempting it on an audio file. Usually they do that as well. They go, here's how to pronounce it, and they take awful stick for it because they get it wrong. TEGUCIGALPA. Oh, I keep trying to say two C's. TEGUCIGALPA. It's that C followed by the G that's getting me. It doesn't look like the usual sort of arrangement of letters in the English language, and that's for a very good reason. It's not in the English language.
Yeah. Let's see, Wiki Travel. Maybe they'll have one of those helpful.
I mean, next to it, you have Ciudad de Mexico and Guadalajara.
You'd think that, oh, dictionary, maybe they'll have it pronounced. Ooh, ooh.
TEGUCIGALPA.
Did you hear that?
So it isn't a soft TEGUCIGALPA. That's much easier to say.
TEGUCIGALPA. TEGUCIGALPA.
TEGUCIGALPA.
TEGUCIGALPA. It's a goosey place, not a Gucci place or a gookie place. No Gucci there, no dresses there. It's all geese. TEGUCIGALPA. That's fantastic. That's just so easy to say.
Yeah, look at you. We were just being silly.
Yes. Anyway, I have infected whatever the hell I've infected.
Seattle and what was the other one?
It was Atlanta, right where the disease center is. So
That's just cheeky.
an underfunded, overstressed, overworked lab employee put a Petri dish in his pocket and stepped outside for a smoke.
Yeah, well,
And he complained about the budget and how it all went to some woman's flights and her expense account.
Think about a Learjet, and black in a black dress,
It just says entertainment, and he's like, what are we doing entertainment? Are we entertaining foreign visitors or dignitaries? It all seemed to tie into these luxury jets, and I don't know. Who's Dr. Gucci anyway, that she keeps meeting?
I wonder if there is a Dr. Gucci there. Sure.
If there isn't, there is now. We've invented him.
That's right. That's right. We have brought him into being. Or her.
That is true. Or indeed,
So,
if it happens to be this robotic artificial intelligence that is hell-bent on dominating the world by taking over the rag trade.
yeah, sure. We could do that.
Yeah,
Go that way.
it's like artificial intelligence will take control of our nuclear weapons. Of course not. We won't let the artificial intelligence near our weapons, but we'll let it run our clothing stores. And that's how it gets in, you see.
That's right. That's right. Dr. Gucci,
That's
the weak link. So it's my turn, right?
After all that, I have been, and we move the king in yellow down to you. So rattle the coins in your expense account, and you can go daft here.
Okay. So we don't have 3 on any city, right?
No.
All right.
So those are 2, 2, 2. If you can't see them too clearly on your screen.
Well, I think that I just want to hear what you have to say about this because I don't think of things sometimes, but I was just thinking that I try to mop up the reds here.
You don't think of things, but you were just thinking. That's brilliant.
Well, I think of some things, but I don't think of all things. So, you might well have input that I haven't considered. So what I'm just trying to say is that please speak up if you think if there's a move that I am not considering.
I think the only reason you know that you have a fridge in your household is that you see this thing that's covered in Post-it notes to remind you of everything. And you go, oh, that's the fridge.
You're not far wrong. You're not far wrong. Okay, so
that didn't answer your question, though. It's what I was thinking. I was thinking, yes, your Post-it notes have Post-it notes, and they have Post-it notes ad infinitum.
Well, actually, long story. So, so I'm going to go up and go on to let's see, where am I? So I'm in LA. So I'm going to go up to San Francisco. So that's 1 action.
Okay.
And I'm going to take those disease nodes off.
Right, they're gone. You're full of anecdotes that never happened. There's this rat infestation. I can't go into details. And there's a story about Post-it notes, but for legal reasons, I can't possibly regale you.
That's right. It's a messy legal situation.
I still know where the bodies are buried. It's like one of those.
And then I'm going to go up to what is it, Calgary? Or no, it's Seattle.
Seattle, yes.
Yeah, go up to Seattle and so how many actions is that?
You've got one left.
Okay, so I'll take those off.
Right. Okay. Yes, I'm just pointing out that for reasons of table management, I'm using this card holder here instead of the actual positions on the board because these cards are a bit slippy and we don't want them going all over the place. That's the only reason we're doing it that way.
Sure.
But, you know, for anyone else who's not filming a video, feel free to use the spaces provided. It's okay. Right. You've done your coffee tour up the West Coast.
I'm sitting in Starbucks drinking like a latte.
I'm not a fan of Starbucks. I never really got into the taste of the coffee, and it's that simple.
Sure.
Yeah.
Each their own.
Or
You're more of a pour over kind of guy.
I just want my coffee to taste of coffee, and I don't think it does. I don't know how they manufacture it. They probably have street urchins on giant hamster wheels in the background.
Yes, well, you know, it's giant hamsters, and they're paid in coffee, so, you know, it's a win-win.
It was giant hamster wheels, not giant hamsters, but you've obviously moved that story on a bit into some kind of Dr. Moreau.
Well, giant hamster wheels, I mean, like, doesn't that seem like giant hamsters, right?
I thought street urchins was fine, but that was a step too far for you. You didn't want to bring in child services there, so you thought, oh, quick, make it giant hamsters, it's fine. This is when we discover that Dr. Moreau is Dr. Gucci. And has been all along.
Well, that would be an interesting story.
He was interested in all kinds of animal experiments, and he was responsible for your rat infestation.
Yes, and he has Dr. Dolittle captive.
Well, that's a bad thing, isn't it? It's Dr. Dolittle could just talk to the animals.
The giant hamsters.
Yes. And he could have them revolt and burst out of Starbucks, and Starbucks has to close down for violating that code.
That's right.
Whatever that code is, you know, you're not allowed to have giant hamsters in your basement.
That's right.
That's it. They bring in a food inspector who looks like Donald Sutherland. And he says, it's a rat turd. Anyway, we're veering off into Invasion of the Body Snatchers territory. And I'm not sure we want to do that here.
Ooh, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That was another good movie.
I don't know how many times it's been filmed. I suspect at least 3. Possibly 4. I don't know. And
of course, in every TV series, you know, every like fantasy or sci-fi TV series, there has to be like an episode that's on that theme, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Well, you know why that is, don't you?
Why?
Shape-changing aliens who can take on human form are cheaper to film with no special effects.
That's true.
It's cheapness. You know, it's like, oh, we arrived in an invisible spaceship. Uh-huh.
Don't have a really big budget for props there, do you, Guy?
That's it. Invisible spaceship, shape-shifting aliens, sorted.
But I think, you know, they can be psychologically evocative. Like, you know, because in real life, of course, you don't have props. So if you can convince someone within the confines of a story that these people who just look like people really are aliens, I mean, that's freaky.
So you dress up in a yellow suit and you wield this hairdryer and go around telling people you're Darth Vader.
You can try that. I'm not going to. Not in the area that I live in.
I'm just thinking about this. It's been announced recently there are 2 cooperative games coming out, and they're both themed on Back to the Future. And it's been on my mind.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
We'll see. I've got no clue what we're doing now.
Okay.
You arrived in Seattle.
I think it's your turn, right?
The Yellow King is with you. You've exhausted all your...
Oh, so do I get my cards now?
Coins, so you must be getting your cards now. So that's what that whole display off to the side is. I know it does seem like an over-elaborate production that we've set up to remind us of this, even though there are only 2 of us playing, but
No, it saved our bacon multiple times.
We have talked about Dr. Moreau and Invasion of the Body Snatchers and God knows what else. Right, you're going to get, 2 cards. I'm going to try not to mess up these cards again. Sometimes this is picking up more than 1 at a time.
Oh, okay.
Because they're sticking together.
Yeah. How many cards do I have? 5?
You have 4.
4, okay.
Here we go. You've got a yellow one, Miami.
Okay.
Let's give you another card. Nope, there we go. Stuck together. Right. Oh, look at that. What a
is it?
surprise. It's an
event?
event.
Oh, good. Yay.
3 out of 4. Borrowed time.
So what does it do?
Play during your do actions step, not an action. The current player does 2 additional actions this turn. So it's
nice.
2 extra actions. You're on 6 cards.
Okay.
Right, let's infect some cities. Not deliberately, though. Not like that was the other one. There was the bioterrorist that we tried. We tried that one.
Oh, yes. It wasn't cooperative play. It was competitive play between you and I. That was different. And I think one of the reasons why I didn't like it as much as the cooperative play is that you couldn't talk to me about your plans. Like, so there was...
I could have, but they would have been horrible.
Right. But then you probably wouldn't have won, which you did.
That's right. I only just barely won, though. I mean, that game started off with my arrest almost immediately.
Yeah, I got lucky, though.
There's just far less interaction involved, even if you were just having banter. I thought it would be far more interesting than it was, and it was kind of just a more perfunctory thing where I was plotting where I was moving next and gathering cards and then just dropping diseases on you randomly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad that we played it because I was curious. And it was fun, but, I think maybe as I was saying to you the other day, I think it may have been a different experience if we'd played with more people.
Yes, you would have had banter with your fellow investigators.
Yeah, and it might have been even more fun for you because then you'd hear us making plans together and you'd be like, ha, 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 they do not see me.
Yes, except, of course, you did see me straight away.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is a crap game. And then I had to run away and hide mostly while I was plotting and hatching and stuff. So it's one of those... Sometimes I feel there are movies that have thankless roles for the villain because the villain is skulking in the shadows and you don't see him for ages and then he pops up. If he's lucky, he gets another movie role later and then people say, what, you were the bad guy in that film? He says, yes, I had like 4 minutes of screen time, but I was evil though.
Yeah, they don't see all your hard work in the background.
That's it.
Okay, so there's still no 3s, right? Okay, good. What is, how many are on, what is that, Havana?
That's 2.
2, okay.
I should really sort of sit them like that, shouldn't I? I should spread them out a bit so that you can see them on whatever postage sized.
Just the yellows, really, that for some reason, I have trouble seeing.
I would have replaced them with little wooden bits that we have, but I thought, as it's the first time we're playing, we'll use the actual components.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so it's whose turn? Is it your turn now? Yeah, it's your turn now.
Yes, it is going to be, we go back to here and the king in yellow transfers to me and I will repay myself some coin of the realm. It hasn't really happened in this game because the board is much smaller, but in the earlier games of Pandemic, we would sometimes come back with like 2 actions in and then 2 actions not in, and we got off on banter for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is why some of those game sessions took about 4 hours.
Yeah.
And regular Pandemic does not take that long, but I had to explain the rules to you. I had to set up the game board as well, and you were asking questions about how it all worked. But once you were into the flow of it, you got it.
Yeah.
So the more you play these games, the quicker they go.
Yeah, it's a fairly simple rule set once you know.
It is, even though the actual board game database has pages and pages and pages of rules explanations for people. If people don't see something down in the rules, they often invent some bizarre rule to cover the situation.
It sounds like us.
It does. The better the rules are written, the less of that there is. But it's hard to say what goes into a really good rule book. It must be short, to the point. It must follow the flow of the game in order without skipping around. Mm-hmm. No time travel in game rule books is what I say. It's like, okay, this is a game about curing disease, and first we'll talk about combat and then movement. So let's talk about all the combat. You need to know this before we get to the stock market. And then once we get to the stock market, don't worry about that. And when you start to read rulebooks like that, you're like, what the hell?
This kind of sounds like our conversations.
Well, we don't want our conversations to be like the rulebooks. We want the rulebooks to lead the gameplay that gives us our conversations.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
honestly, if we were just sitting here going, I go to Phoenix, so take that one off, or I'll go to the other place and take that one off, we could have had this wrapped up in this about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's hope we've entertained at least someone watching this without stories of your rat infestation.
Well, you've entertained me, so there we go.
I guess that's one person that counts. We'll call that a win.
So you're turning in the 4 blue now? Oh no, you have to move there.
Let's see. We only have. Oh yes, it's red. That's what threw me off.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, red. Sorry.
I'm going to Atlanta on a field trip, and I come in with. I say, look, I've got all this stuff. There's this report on pine cones. It's very informative. We'll brew up a cup of tea, and I'll show you what I mean, and then we'll take that tea and we'll subject it to some lab tests. And what do you know? It's going to cure this disease. I'm gathering these cards ceremoniously. Here they are, all 4. We're going to dump them in there, into that pile. I'm going to come over a bit, and that's red. Red there is cured.
Yay!
I remember the last time that happened, you played Rocky music at sort of celebration. It's ridiculous. Right, let's be aware of other people's copyright. So,
It's true.
okay, that's 2 actions. I moved into Atlanta and I cured a red disease. Now that doesn't change the game here. The red disease cubes will still come on.
Yeah,
And-
but in order for me to, if I just go into that city, it doesn't even take an action. They just scatter back to where they came from.
That's true. Normally, in the larger game, with only 2 red left, if you removed them, then the disease would be eradicated.
Yeah.
But
So you were saying that that's not in this one?
no, it's these are the same on both sides. They don't have an eradication symbol on them. Okay. Speaking of moving people around, I've got 2 actions left, and I've got that other special ability that I have not used. Move another player's pawn to a connected city. It is a city that you are connected to. So how about this?
Uh-huh.
Remember, that's my ability, so we play to our strengths. I can move you from there to there. It's an action. Then I can move you from there to there as an action. That disease is cured, so those automatically go off.
Mm-hmm.
Should we do that?
Well, but would that be the best use of your actions?
It would bring you a bit closer to the blue area.
Okay, sure. Because you could also go down here and take that node off and go over here and take those 2 nodes off.
Well, let's see. I have 2 actions left. There's a disease there I could just remove.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leaves me a movement to go somewhere.
So, okay, let's take a look at our cards.
Certainly.
Okay, so do we have, no, we don't. So we've got 3 yellow and 2 blue. Oh no, yeah, we have 2 blue. So we're hoping for yellow. What are the 2 red ones?
Seattle and Dallas.
Seattle and Dallas. Okay, let me just write that down.
You're in Seattle, actually. So if you have the card for Seattle, you fly out of Seattle to anywhere on the board.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Can I see the board again? Sorry.
Yep. Just as I bring the chair in to sit down.
Sorry.
Right,
Okay,
there we go. I can come to you with my ability, and you could come to me with my ability. But you're in Seattle, and you could spend that red card, which we no longer need. And
No,
you could,
I don't need
You
it
could
anymore.
go anywhere.
Well, so it depends on what you want to do to a certain extent, because there are those 2 yellow nodes down there that kind of need to be taken care of at some point. I was thinking of going over and taking care of these 2 red ones. I might cash in my Seattle card and just save me, 2 actions and then take those 2 red ones off. But that isn't even an action, right? So cashing in the card would be an action. and then maybe mopping up the blue.
Hmm.
Or I could just fly down and get the yellow, but no, I'll take out the red. What do you think?
There are different possibilities here. I mean, I can move you straight into Minneapolis right now, and those red cubes would go away. But then you wouldn't be able to fly out of Seattle because that card is further back.
What?
Well, you're in Seattle, so you're well placed to go anywhere.
Right.
Once my turn is over, more infections will come up, and that'll change the state of the board, and you might decide to do something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well hang tight where you are in Seattle so you could fly out to hit a hotspot, say.
So how many actions do you have left?
I've got 2. I can get rid of that one disease there. So why don't I do that?
Sure.
Sometimes it feels like pulling teeth.
See, I think that we're going to get a yellow card soon, like one of us. So as long as one of us is sort of near the yellow, then we can, you can always bring me to you, right?
Yes. Right, so for one action, I guess I just move up into the blue zone up there because I might start mopping while you're doing some action-packed thing.
Sure, but there are also those 2 yellow ones, which are sort of crying out for.
Right, but you could fly in.
That's true. Okay, so you're done?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
Okay,
have-
so you're getting an event card. You're getting the last event card this time.
I think it's an epidemic card, personally.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Right, you have that event card.
I do have one event card. Well, do I?
Yes, you do. It gives you 2 extra actions.
Right. Okay. Did you want to use that one?
Not for myself, no. I'm just saying you would mop up more in one turn if you have
Yeah.
6 actions.
Yeah. Right now, knock on wood, but things seem fairly under control, so.
Well, you say that. Let's get into my player card. It's red. It's the place, Minneapolis, that those red cubes are sitting.
Okay.
Which means I could fly there and get them.
Okay,
Because that card doesn't mean anything anymore except as a plane ticket now.
sure.
Okay. Ciudad de Mexico.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and get those 2 yellow.
Well, now we have 4 yellow between us.
Yeah. So what cities can we meet on?
These 2.
Okay, that's not going to be a problem. All right, good.
So we might very quickly cure yellow here.
Yeah,
Do you just want to concentrate on that?
Yes.
Well, let's find out what's infected. Los Angeles is infected.
Okay.
Red again.
That's fine.
Don't think we should worry too much about it.
No.
But, you say that and then it all goes to hell.
Mm.
Los Angeles. Let's go again. Oh dear. I've accidentally flipped the card. Oh, this is just so annoying. This was supposed to help me, but it's the shiny nature of the cards.
Well, I did say that it looked villainous.
Okay. Right. Santo Domingo.
Santa Domingo. Okay. All right, good.
So the king in yellow moves back down.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to cash in my Seattle card, and I'll fly to Havana.
Seattle goes.
Yep.
You're going to fly down anywhere you like. Havana.
Okay, so that's one action. So then I'll take those 2. That's second action. And so where do I have to meet you?
TEGUCIGALPA, which we now know how to pronounce,
Okay.
or the city of Mexico.
Okay. So I've 2 actions. So I think what I'm going to do is just go to over to the capital of Mexico. Yeah. Then I'll just get that disease cube off.
We're taking the scenic route there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hope nothing bad happens. 2, 3, 4. You're on 5 cards. I was just thinking about where we're going, that's all.
Okay.
Right. It's a question of who's actually, it could be, we could actually meet in Guadalajara and Miami, which are too far apart if you're giving those to me. So I'm going to come to you and give those to you.
Okay.
And then you'll rush back to Atlanta.
All right.
Somehow. Like, we'll work that out.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could always send me there, or no? Oh, no, you can only move me to one city at a time. Or what do they mean by connected? Like,
That ability that I've got moves you to a city that's connected to the city you are in.
so the next node?
Yes.
Okay.
I could get down to there and come to you, and then I could move back and drag you with me.
Right. No, I was just there. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, so I get 2 cards.
No, I was thinking, haven't we done all that? Because I've just infected the cities, haven't I? So that's that.
So what cards did you pull for me?
No, I don't think I did. I think you're right.
Okay.
It's, yeah. Well, we'll go back over the recording and it'll tell us if we blipped by a whole turn, but okay. Right. Denver.
Denver? Okay.
You can afford to throw it away.
Yeah.
Epidemic.
Actually, what red cards do I have?
Denver and Dallas.
Okay, just hold it a sec here. Denver and Dallas. Okay, yeah, throw away Denver.
No, you've got 6 cards now because the 7th
Oh,
card,
right.
yeah,
I don't
was
keep the
there.
epidemic.
Yeah, I don't keep the epidemic.
Well, I suppose, like
Right.
I haven't had an epidemic in a
I'm
while.
afraid Montreal takes a hit
Oh no.
because that's what happens as a result of that. It's already got one, so it takes 3, which is an outbreak. We're so close to losing. So we stock that up to 3,
Okay.
and then we go off there, off the rails, into Toronto, New York, and Boston. We'd already infected up the way, so now we're infecting down the way. That's looking particularly grim. I might not be joining you there. I don't know. Well, we really want to cure yellow as well, but is that at the expense of just losing blue?
Well, I could give you that event card, and so you could go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come down to meet me, and we could cash in the yellow or something.
Let's see. I should just use my ability to come straight to you.
Oh, did you want to get the 3 disease cubes off, or?
No, we might just chance curing yellow.
Okay, sure.
It's difficult. We're now going to turn 3 cards out of all of these. You're going to tell me when to stop shuffling.
Okay. Stop.
Oh dear. Right.
What?
This is the situation. We're going to draw 3 cards. We're fine anywhere on the board, but if any of those 3 cards is Montreal, we lose the game.
Okay.
It's that simple.
All right.
Here we go. It's Monterey, not Montreal. That was close.
Monterey. Oh.
I don't know what I've done that for. They should be sitting on top of that. Right. Create a discard pile, a proper one. Monterey.
Where's Monterey? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Here we go again. Second chance. Out of how many, I don't know. If it's Montreal, the game is over. It's Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay.
I think, yes, we're going to have to run up there and stop that disease. Oh, dear. Yeah, Los Angeles. Let's put a proper color on it. I don't know what I'm thinking. As far as colorblind players go, I think they've gone for as good as they can manage. It just depends which type of color blindness you've got. Nothing is ever perfect. I'm stalling. Right, here it is.
Come on. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm feeling good.
If this is Montreal, then suddenly there'll be a fog over the camera, and I'll say, "Look at that interesting thing over there."
Right.
Okay, here we go. It's yellow. It's TEGUCIGALPA, our favorite.
Ah, there we go. Good old Teg. TEGUCIGALPA.
There we go. We made it through that, just barely.
Okay, so which cities have 3 disease cubes on them?
Montreal. That's the danger zone.
And that's it?
Yes.
Okay.
But it could come up any second. Okay. I've got a blue card. Is it Montreal? No, it's Toronto. Okay, now here's my stellar thinking. It would be lovely to cure that yellow, but we have to deal with Montreal. It's a hotbed of activity.
Okay. Well, I can give you my event card so you can have like 6 actions, and then you might be able to get back to the.
Get back to you. Okay. Okay, it's a question of what am I taking off? Am I taking one off?
Well, I would take 2 off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. You give me the cards.
I've thrown that little blue cube away. Right, got it. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4. I have no actions left, so you're going to give me 2 actions.
Yeah.
By spending borrowed time. Do we ever pay it back? I don't know. For 1 action, I come straight to you.
Yeah.
Oh, and I knock the camera.
Well, it's in the end zone now. Things are getting tense.
Well, just to be thematic, the skull grins at us.
Yeah.
Okay, another 2 actions then. One was just getting to you and there. And I hand you my card. I say, look, I've got information here. Now you've got 3. So let's see. I had 1 to get to you, 1 to hand it over.
So can I see my cards now? Okay, so am I okay in terms of number?
You've got 3 yellow.
3, so when you hand me that other yellow, I've got 4. So I've got to get rid of 1, right?
It doesn't matter what you do or where you go. I can always bring you back to me in TEGUCIGALPA and exchange them and you'll be set up.
No, I mean like you're giving me a yellow card, right?
Yes, you've got 6.
Right, so I have to get rid of 1. Okay, so I'll have the 4 and then 3, which is 7, right?
Yes, then you'll have to throw away one of the red ones, don't matter.
Right, so I'll get rid of, Denver, I guess.
Well, we'll come to that.
Oh, okay. So you're not actually giving me the cards right now?
I already gave you 1 card, but I've run out of actions just getting to you and doing that.
All right.
So as soon as I go to there, I can bring you to me.
Okay.
If I had an action.
But why do I want to go there?
Because I will then give you that card, and you'll have 4, and you can cure yellow.
Oh, okay. Right, that makes sense.
Okay, here we go. I don't think it'll be an epidemic straight away, but it could be.
Is there a card left, an epidemic card left, or did we pull them all?
There's 1 left.
Okay.
There you go, 2. No, it's Washington.
Washington.
So we're starting to build a blue cure. Boston. I've got 3 blue.
Okay, good. Do I have any blue? I have 1, don't I?
New York.
Okay, cool.
We're very close to it, but 1 outbreak will finish us. And if that, if we get that epidemic, that means it'll happen somewhere, some random place. Now that was the danger spot. That's what caused us all the bother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's infect cities. We're infecting 3, sadly.
Yep.
It's brutal.
Oh, well.
Miami.
Okay. So that's fine. That just brings it up to 2.
Yes. 2 more to go. Atlanta.
Okay. Okay, that's
Seattle.
Seattle. How many are in Seattle? None. Okay, good.
That's it.
So it's your turn now?
No. King in yellow goes to you.
Okay.
We've averted the blue threat for now.
All right. So I can't really do much because I have to get the card from you.
But I can always summon you to me on my turn. So I go in there and bring you back to me. It doesn't matter where you go.
So okay, so I just don't I can't really do much. Is there any on Just a sec here. Are there any disease nodes on Guadalajara?
No.
Okay, sorry, I can't. With yellow, it's difficult for me to see. So I was thinking of heading up to Monterey and taking that disease node, and then moving back to the capital, and then heading over to Teg.
Okay. So all I have to do is turn up, meet you, and go, here, have this, get there.
Yeah.
That's 1, 2. We're hanging in by the skin of someone's teeth. I'm not sure if it's mine or yours or an innocent bystander. Right, just trying to think ahead. Is the game going to beat us? I don't know. Let's give you a card. New Orleans.
New Orleans, all right. That's fine.
You've got 7 cards now. You have to get rid of one. Denver or Dallas, I'd recommend.
Yeah, get rid of Denver.
You say that when I have Dallas in my hand. Denver goes. It's okay. Right.
I just wanted to get rid of Denver because Dallas is more central.
Atlanta.
All right. Do I have to get rid of another one?
Yes, Dallas has to go. You want to keep the yellow ones and the blue ones. We really do need them because those are the 2 diseases we haven't cured. Right.
So now it's the outbreak?
Yes, let's break something out somewhere and see where it goes down. Santo Domingo.
Santo Domingo. Oh, how many are there?
That's what. It goes to 2, yes.
It goes to 2, all right.
Minneapolis again. Oh dear.
Minneapolis. Oh, okay. So that's a 3. That's not good.
Jumps up to 3. And we're okay. Unless an epidemic comes out. But that's not now. Montreal again. Caused us so much bother before.
That's a good thing you cleared out the 3 there.
Right. That's everything. Okay, the king in yellow moves back up. I suppose walking back and forward, he's threatening people in a Cthulhu game somewhere, but we're not playing that Cthulhu game. Right, let's take a look at cards. I'm on 3 blue. I could do with 1 from you somehow. I'm sure there's some fantastic move that I can make with my special power.
Well, all you really have to do is move down to Tag and give me the card, right?
Yes, that's 2 actions. Let me think. I've got a Washington card. Okay. How about this, seeing as we're desperate? I'm going to have 4 actions. So I come to you and I go, hi, I heard you have this fantastic disease report on seaweed or something.
Seaweed, yes. Yes, that was just the thing.
And
I was having some sushi and I had this big revelation.
Well, I happen to have this report on the sea in this location, and you should have had this all along, and I'll give it to you. That's 2 actions.
All right.
Then I could fly to Washington by burning off my blue card.
Why would you want to burn off a blue card, though?
To get me within striking distance of Atlanta.
Why? Why do you want to go to Atlanta?
Because that's where you cure the yellow disease.
Right, but I've got the yellow cards.
You will have them by the time I visit you, yes. So instead of 1, 2, 3 cure is what you would do, or I could just bring you up there with me.
Oh, so you're talking about completing the blue cards?
No, completing the yellow, and then we'll come to an arrangement over the blue where we whiz around and exchange cards in.
But why would you burn a? Oh, what card would you burn?
Washington, because then I would bring you to Washington, and then on your turn you go 1 cure.
So, but how many blue cards do you have?
I have 3. You've got 2.
Okay.
One of them is Atlanta, so we would end up in Atlanta as you cure that disease.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Or
do
you
we have to be together to cure it, or?
No, we have to be together to exchange cards, that's all. Alternatively, you can just 1, 2, 3 cure, and then I could come to you and pick up your Atlanta card. And then we could both dive into New York because I could drag you up with me and then come back. Something like that.
Well, it's up to you. Sure. So it's your turn, right?
It is. So I drive down the coast to you anyway.
Okay, and then for the second action, you give me a card.
I do. That means you have to throw one away.
Let's see, what do I have?
Okay.
Oh, I've got to throw blue away. Damn it.
So you gain that.
Mm-hmm. Just choose one.
New York.
Okay.
Because you have to be in Atlanta to cure that disease anyway. We can exchange that card there.
Okay, sounds good.
The Atlanta one. That's unfortunate, but there you go. I've got 2 actions left.
Yep. Can I see the board again? Sorry.
Yeah, it makes a change from can I see the middle of the board? Can I see the top left?
Yeah. Well, if you have 2 actions, so you could get up to Miami, and then you're just one away from Atlanta.
Yes, okay, we'll do it. It's the old-fashioned way of just driving endlessly. People watching this movie are going, why don't they take planes? Well, they've all been grounded. They have to fly another time. They have to drive and get a ferry and hop on a skateboard and then no flights.
And then a golf cart.
Golf carts, yes. A procession of golf carts because it turns into one of those comedies where everybody's racing at the end to get the money that blows away in the wind or something.
Oh yeah, I watched a movie like that. That was the ending. All the money blew away.
What a shocker! No one's ever written that before.
Anyway, okay, so it's what you're getting cards now, right?
Yes, I am. However many are left.
How many are left?
Very few.
It's getting close.
Okay. It's an event card at last, finally. Play at any time, not an action. Return any 2 cubes from the board to the supply. Well, I've got 5 cards at the moment. Tell you what, Minneapolis is sitting on 3. Why don't I just use that now?
Sure.
Because that's kind of grim. Right, we cure the disease there. Or that might not have been the best use of that, but okay.
No, I think that's a good use for it, actually.
Just always eliminate 3.
Yeah.
Sometimes eliminating 3 is a luxury because you have to do something else.
Yeah.
Okay, what the hell was I doing there? I was giving myself a card. That was my first card, wasn't it?
I think so.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Monterey, yellow. Not really much use to me. Let's infect cities.
Okay.
San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh no, San Francisco doesn't have any. It's good.
We save it from disease, but not from the earthquake.
Yeah. It's going down.
New York.
Okay. Okay, we're hanging in there.
Havana.
Havana. All right. Could be worse.
Well, we made it through another turn.
Okay.
We move the king in yellow down.
All right.
And it's you to work your magic here.
Okay, so I'm on tag now. So I'm going to go up to Havana, up to Miami, and then Atlanta. So that's 3 actions. And then I'm going to cash in those 4 cards. I'm going to cure the disease.
We're 2/3 of the way through the cures. It could all fall apart at any moment. We get rid of the 4. We cash them in. Just go over a bit ceremoniously. There we are. We have cured yellow. Yeah. If you just pass through these, you're going to take them off. The cube situation is okay. Blue is a bit down. That's about it.
Okay. So where do we have to meet now to, because you have like three blue cards, right?
I do have 3 blue cards. We have to meet in Atlanta.
Okay. So I'm already there.
Yes. Does that mean we're going to win the game?
I don't know. It's going to be close.
Well, here we go. We pretty much have to solve it this turn or we're going to run out of cards. I thought outbreaks would get us, but it's going to be the end of the deck that takes us out.
Okay.
Montreal. Chicago.
Okay, so do I have to get rid of any cards?
No, you've only got 3.
Okay.
Right, let's infect. Chicago.
Chicago.
It's in the news for all kinds of reasons. It's like it's just been infected. You've just picked up some handy information to help cure it. It's all coming together. I did put a blue cube on there just now, did I?
Yes, you did. You did.
Right.
Yeah.
Calgary.
Calgary. Oh no. Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. We're good. We're good.
It doesn't. You're Canadian. It doesn't matter. You're fine. You know.
So good. Just chill.
Washington.
Washington. Okay. All right. All right.
I'm not flipping those cards in front of the camera there to show you the city, just the color, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I appreciate that.
Just in case you thought it was kind of too casual. It's just, there's a blue one. Okay. Right, that's it.
All right. Good. Yay.
Okay, here we go. The king in yellow moves. I have got 4 turns. 4 actions to solve this game. I have 3 disease cards. You're in Atlanta.
Could I see the board again?
There's the cards there.
Oh, okay.
I've got 3.
Mm-hmm.
You have Atlanta. We need to be in Atlanta to exchange. Right. I think it's just by coincidence we've managed to solve yellow that puts us in a position to solve blue.
Yeah.
1 action. Hello there.
Fancy meeting you here.
Well, it is where we work.
True.
Because we do operate out of this building, so it kind of makes sense.
Okay, okay, all right, all right.
So these games are always going to end in disaster somewhere around the board, or they're always going to end in success in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So you have to be at Atlanta for the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have Atlanta. I'd like to take that card from you.
Okay, go ahead.
So I do.
I offer it to you on a gold platter.
I thought you were going to say on some kind of Aztec ritual stone sacrifice kind of deal. Right.
On a bed of pine chips.
Because it's deeply symbolic and a key ingredient in curing more than one disease. Then we discover that you've got shares in this company that's forestry. It's all rather shady.
I own shares in the Wood Wide Web.
For 1 more action, I cash in these 4. I think we've played the game according to the rules, more or less.
More or less, yeah.
I've struggled to move some cards into position. So that's blue. The hardest part actually seems to be placing the piece. I have one action left after that, so I buy coffee for everyone with that action.
Oh, nice.
We have solved the game on the last possible turn. We just would have run out of time right there.
Yeah. Boy, that's really skin of your teeth type of stuff.
So that's it. We have played that game, and we won. And it didn't take us 4 hours this time. It's supposed to be half an hour on the box if you know what you're doing, but we indulged in banter.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We were, let's see, the cube situation was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Blue was a little low, down to 4 at the end. That was a problem. It doesn't look as if it's that bad on the board, but it is. They're kind of scattered. Okay. We were one outbreak from ending it, and we were just on the last turn. Well, that was close.
Yeah, that was. I think that's the closest we've come, actually. Having won, but won by this is the closest margin that we've won by, I think.
Recent games were like maybe 6 turns left, but that was horrified. It wasn't Pandemic. Or 4 turns to go for a game of Pandemic with the cards that were left when you check it at the end. Yes, this was as close as it gets.
Yeah. Oh, well.
It's the same feel of Pandemic. It is the same game.
It was kind of exciting, because it was so close.
Well, you like to live dangerously, you.
There we go, yeah. Me and my Learjets.
We didn't use those. Those are anti-event cards there. That's a crisis card there.
I think it was difficult enough for us as it was.
Well, we were getting used to things. I kept forgetting the hand limit was 6, but it says it on the board. Hand size is 6 at all times. It tells you that right there.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, it was a good little game. I mean, it didn't feel rushed. I mean, we did do a lot of like banter, so that took up some time, but it it was good. It was fun.
Well, that's the point. The point is you turn up and you socialize across the world, across the internet, and you get a game in.
Yep.
Okay, that's that. Well, thanks for turning up and thanks for playing.
Well, thank you. You did all the work. All I had to do was show up.
Well, I moved the camera. I don't know if I'd call that work. I stumbled around the table. I tried not to fall.
Well, no, but you have this whole setup. You have the camera, you have the games, you set up the game, you taught me how to play the game. I mean, like all I'm doing is sitting here playing.
But that's the most important part, though. It's the social interaction of someone else. And
well, that's true. I mean, like it would be hard to play a game without someone to play it with, but
the game can be played solo if you're running multiple characters around just to learn how to play the game.
True. Yeah, just like you can play a game of chess against yourself, too.
Well, I don't know about that.
Wouldn't have the same sort of feel to it, but...
It says on the side of the box, 2 to 4 players.
Yeah.
But one person could just play 2 characters to get used to it and then use that as a teaching aid to help someone else.
Yeah. And I suppose we could always play like more than one player.
We could have played 2 characters each. When we did the bioterrorist, you kind of had to play those 2 characters.
But then I always kept getting confused about which one I was. Oh, which one am I playing now?
Yes.
I think for that sort of thing, if I was actually like in the same, if the board was actually in front of me, it would have been less confusing. But
well, all you had was the map that goes with the bioterrorist. At least you had a copy of that.
Yeah. I think for that game, it would have been good if I had like drawn out the cards and actually laid them down in front of myself and like sort of kept track of it that way, or even just like write. What I was doing is I was just writing the names on paper, like the cards that I had, and then crossing them off. And then every once in a while, I would get you to anyway, boring stuff.
No, you've brought up a point, and that's this game has a print and play version available. It's been made available so that people can try it out. So yeah, you could have downloaded that file. You could have printed out every card for this game. And you would need your own tokens for like disease cubes and stuff. But for
I don't think I would go that. I don't think I would go that far with it. But I think just on my, I have a book, like a loose like a 3-ring binder thingy, and I would just probably just write down the cards and then cross them off when I got rid of them, and that kind of thing.
I think your main problem was thinking that one character had the cards. You just
the other character.
Yeah. You'd written down if you'd drawn a line to divide them from one from the other.
Yeah.
But
bookkeeping.
Yes.
I get you every time.
Well,
okay. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciated this.
We won Pandemic, kinda. It's a
yay! I'm taking it.
We've won other games of Pandemic, just not the actual regular vanilla one. This is the cut down version, so we've cut our teeth on this. We might go back to the real game and maybe win it one day. It's a dream.
Yes, I think we should.
Right. Okay. Well, we shall definitely end it there this time.
Okay.